Ahead on primetime, it seems Special Interest Week continues over at the Guam Congress building as senators get closer to wrapping up their final session hearings. Plus, 3 convicted sex offenders are getting a one-way ticket off the island, the administration announcing its latest group up for deportation. And 2 days in a row, another bullet found at another school as students are on campus, the school system investigating. Hafaday and good evening.
Well, your taxes may have gone up this year, but if some senators get their way, Cortec could get a tax-free ride on captive insurance for 20 years.
According to Gita, the benefit to Guam won't be enough to justify what your senators are trying to do with Bill 363. Chris Barnett has more.
Special Interest Week continued today at the Guam legislature as senators advanced a bill that would give Cortec tax breaks for self-insuring its own sister companies. Although Governor Eddie Calvo has said no new QC should be granted in the midst of this fiscal crisis, senators made amendments to Bill 363 that give Cortec a 100% rebate on corporate income tax and a 100% reduction on business privilege tax for the company that has donated to almost every political campaign on Guam. All of this being done while the people of Guam bear the burden of multiple tax increases passed by the legislature. Senators have said the QC would lead to job creation, but the QC language says Cortec would only have to hire one person. Senator Mike Nicholas, who has received thousands of dollars in donations from Cortec, supported the bill and said Guam should give Cortec the best deal it can, or Cortec would keep paying an off-island company for insurance instead of Cortec paying itself to insure itself.
You're going to put your resources where you're going to be able to get the highest return on investment and pay the lowest amount in taxes.
Meanwhile, Senator Jim Espaldon wondered why Bill 363 author Senator Dennis Rodriguez offered an amendment that would grant Cortec a break on BPT payments. Espaldon saying senators should stay in their lane, saying legal counsel warned him the amendment treaded into separation of powers territory.
That's the issue I need to understand, and why are we going down this road?
Rodriguez explained the amendment would mirror earlier QCs given to 2 other captive insurance companies, but those QCs were granted when Guam's economy was on sturdier ground. Senator Joe San Augustine turned heads when he offered an amendment that would lift the suspension of qualifying certificates and return authority to approve them to the governor. That amendment was defeated, but Senator Frank Uggan introduced an amendment to increase Cortec's corporate tax break from 75% to 100%. Uggan saying his amendment gave Cortec the same deal other captive insurance companies got. But Acting Speaker Therese Terlahi again today spoke out against what appears to be special interest legislation, saying even Gita was against any additional tax breaks for Cortec.
The direct benefit to Guam in relation to the direct benefit to the applicant is not substantial enough to warrant both a BPT benefit and a corporate income tax benefit.
Terlahi reminded her colleagues why senators gave themselves the authority to review QCs in the first place.
I recall that the intent was because we were trying to curtail the excess granting of QCs that was going to impact our revenues.
With the Uggan Amendment, which passed with 8 votes, Bill 363 gives Cortec a 100% rebate on its income taxes for 20 years, with an option to renew for another 20 years. Cortec would only have to hire one employee, and as part of the QC's terms, Cortec would donate $50,000 a year to Gita. Now, as you may recall, senators raised the business privilege tax, tobacco taxes, and land taxes to cover budget shortfalls caused by the Trump tax cuts. Though it's not clear why they would raise taxes on local businesses and individuals, forcing us to bear the weight of multiple tax hikes and then try to give tax breaks to companies like Cortec. Terlahi also questioning why senators would want to increase benefits to Cortec when Gita said the benefit to Guam didn't warrant any additional favorable treatment for the company.
We are extending additional benefits beyond what Gita has found to be prudent.
Bill 363 was moved to the 3rd reading file and is expected to be voted on later this week. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
He was among the defendants that once stood accused in the murder at the prison. Now he's back behind bars, this time accused of sexually assaulting a woman known to him. Jimmy Moses Hadley is charged with 2 counts of 3rd and 4th degree criminal sexual conduct, strangulation, and assault with intent to commit criminal sexual conduct. Court documents state the suspect allegedly pinned down and raped the victim. Documents state the suspect would allegedly strangle her each time she would scream for help. The suspect denied the allegations, telling police he evicted the victim a month back, adding that the victim would make up stories. The suspect was taken into custody. He is also charged with commission of a felony while on felony release for 2 separate cases.
3 sex offenders will be deported. Governor DeCalvo signed commutations for the 3 men. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement identified the 3 non-U.S. citizens for having committed deportable crimes. They are Fel Max Melina, Joshua and Riket Rotten, who were each convicted for separate criminal sexual conduct cases. The men will be transferred to the custody of the federal government until they are deported. The governor has commuted sentences for either removal or deportation of a total of 71 convicts.
Javon Jermaine Titano pleads not guilty to 2 counts of vehicular homicide as a second-degree felony. The 19-year-old appeared in court on Wednesday. Titano was reportedly driving upwards of 76 miles per hour before he lost control of his car, crashing and killing 2 of his passengers. 17-year-old Simon Sanchez, high school seniors Josiah Blas and Timothy Uy died from injuries sustained in the crash. Titano's next court appearance is set for January 8th.
He's accused of attacking a pregnant woman known to him. Joaquin Peter Castro Netadog is charged with strangulation, family violence, assault, and assault of an unborn child. Court documents state the suspect was arguing with the victim when he allegedly hit her multiple times before putting her in a headlock. The victim, who is 7 months pregnant, told police she was unable to immediately escape. Eventually, she was able to grab her cell phone and called police for help. But when officers showed up, the suspect took off on foot into a jungle area. Documents state he returned to the residence later that day. Police returned as well and made the arrest.
Well, Guam Regional Medical City's ousted CEO, president, and chair of the board, Margaret Benzon, is asking the local court for a temporary restraining order and injunctive relief to give time for issues regarding shareholder ownership to be resolved in the Philippines. According to Benzon's complaint, she was informed by letter that she had been voted out. This abrupt and questionable change, she argues, caused her personal harm and could jeopardize the hospital's financing. Defense on Tuesday filed a motion to dismiss the complaint, noting that injunctive relief would leave GRMC's board and management powerless for an indefinite amount of time, which could threaten hospital day-to-day operations. Defense further cites a related case in the Philippines in which the Benzon Group blocked, threatened, and prevented newly elected board of directors from assuming their office and performing their functions. Should the Guam courts rule in favor of Benzon, they would effectively allow the Benzon Group to do here on Guam what a court in the Philippines ordered them to refrain from doing there. As reported, former Lieutenant Governor Dr. Michael Cruz was recently appointed CEO of GRMC. This matter was heard by Judge Elise Iriarte late this afternoon. GRMC, meanwhile, has issued a statement saying it's business as usual. Quote, the public can be assured that GRMC will not allow this situation to affect their daily operations or distract them from their mission to provide high-quality healthcare services to the community of Guam.
Former GORA board member Cecile Suda, David Sablan, Roland Selvage, and Rosianne Blas won't face a jury later this month. After all, the group was set to go to trial on December 17th. That date was vacated as a result of attorney Mike Phillips' motion to withdraw as attorney for Blas, which will be heard on Thursday. Co-defendants John Elau and Deanne Torrey had their cases severed, meaning they'll face separate juries. GORA Executive Director Michael Duenas, meanwhile, previously entered a plea agreement with the government. As reported, the group allegedly held secret board meetings to discuss how they'd vote on awards for millions of dollars worth of low-income housing tax credits.
Well, the government motions to dismiss a $1 million federal lawsuit against them because GovGuam is not a person and the plaintiff's rights were violated. As reported, 81-year-old Pedro M. Terlahi is suing for false arrest and false imprisonment after he was arrested by the Guam International Airport Authority officer and detained following a traffic accident in Tumuning last year. Named defendants include GovGuam, Attorney General Elizabeth Baird Anderson, GPD Chief of Police J.I. Cruz, and DOC Director Tony Lamarena. Also named in the GIA are the GIA and the GIA officer, who the AG reports their office does not represent, nor does GPD train GIA officers.
A man hit by a car while riding his motorcycle in Jigo on Tuesday is recovering from his serious injuries at the Guam Regional Medical City. Police say he is in stable condition. The cyclist was rushed to the hospital after colliding with a black sedan along Route 1, Marine Corps Drive near Chalon La Chance Tuesday morning. GPD continues to investigate the crash.
Well, a midday car crash along Marine Corps Drive caused some traffic delays as police responded to the accident in East Agana. It happened around 11 a.m. along Route 1 near the Tropical Dive Shop. Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau says all three northbound lanes were closed off. Medics also responded to the scene where authorities say the car ran off the roadway and hit a concrete pole. GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley says the female driver was conscious and responsive. She was taken to GMH after suffering from severe injuries. No other injuries were reported. The crash is under investigation.
And just minutes after police cleared the scene of that East Agana crash, first responders were called to a separate accident reported near Poke Fry restaurant in Mighty. Police confirmed one person was taken to GRMC to be treated for their injuries. However, further details of that crash have not yet been released.
For the second day in a row, bullets at local public schools forced students and staff to shelter in place.
Though the all clear was given less than an hour after the back-to-back incidents, as some we spoke with concerned, Carmen Terlahi has the story.
It's an item not allowed on public school grounds. Early Wednesday morning, officials spotted a bullet inside a classroom at Inarahan Elementary School. The finding forcing a shelter in place at 9:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. GDOE reported the incident to the Guam Police Department. At 10 a.m., the all clear was given. But this is the second day in a row a public school was forced to shelter in place after a bullet was found on school grounds. As reported, a similar situation happened at Ontalan Middle School in Barrigada on Tuesday. 2 bullets were found inside the school's gym.
I thought they had a gun, so I was kind of scared. But then when we heard that it was all clear, then all of a sudden we just walked to class and we're good.
Javian Uggan, a 6th grader at Ontalan, says he feels safer now after his teachers conducted a back search. And though school was back in session, Frank Vibar was worried for his nephew.
I'm concerned because my nephew comes here. That's why, it should be safe.
Similarly, Monique Claudio, a parent, tells KUAM she immediately WhatsApped her daughter.
It was really disturbing for me.
Disturbed and concerned. That was the reaction we got from parents picking up their students here at Ontalan Middle School, hoping that safety comes first.
Kind of disturbed because how we have a previous in the mainland a lot of news about shooting and stuff, so I'm not really. Hopefully it doesn't happen here.
People need to work harder. More staff, on the floor.
Guam DOE officials are investigating both incidents. Guam Department of Education spokesperson Isa Baza says, quote, no weapons were found. And while GDOE does not comment on student discipline actions, bringing a bullet to school is a serious violation that could lead to serious consequences, including suspension. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round-trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
This year is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is now on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Get big year-end deals on a big selection of new Ram trucks with savings up to $10,500. Or save up to $5,500 on a new Chrysler Pacifica. How about a new Jeep Compass? Save up to $5,000. With financing as low as 1.99%. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. The big finish means big savings right now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
Welcome back. Well, they are all in the clear. The local health department reopens Lotte Hotel establishments. The executive lounge, Charlotte Ballroom, and bakery all reopened with an A rating, meaning all sanitary violations have been corrected. Public health officials reinstating their sanitary permit. As reported, the 3 facilities were previously closed due to signs of an active roach infestation.
More federal money is on its way to the territory. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency awarded $14 million for various projects. Guam EPA will get $2.9 million, and more than $11.8 million was allocated to the Guam Waterworks Authority for water infrastructure projects. Projects include weekly monitoring Guam's 44 contaminated beaches, conducting island-wide inspections to prevent fuel leaks, and rehabilitation of failing sewer lines. There's also money going towards upgrading 5 of Guam's water wells and construction collection system projects on routes 1, 2, and 4.
The University of Guam Board of Regents elected Christopher Felix as its chairperson. The position was left vacant by outgoing chair Elizabeth Gale, who served on the board for 6 years. Governor Eddie Calvo appointed Felix to the board in 2013. He served as chair of Student Affairs, Scholarship, Alumni Relations, and Honorary Degree Committee. UOG President Dr. Thomas Christ stated, quote, "Mr. Felix has proven an engaged and dedicated member of our local community and of our board. We look forward to his leadership as we continue to evolve with the university." Felix will serve as chair until the board holds its regular elections in April. Now, to fill the empty seat of the board, the governor has appointed Sandra McKeever, CEO and president of Asia Pacific Financial Management Group. She will serve until July 2024.
$5.4 million. That's the cost of the contract recently signed between the University of Guam and Baskin Corps. It's for the construction of the UOG School of Engineering building. Construction is set to begin in February with project completion expected in 1 year. The building will be going up in front of the Agriculture and Life Sciences building. The UOG Endowment Foundation and U.S. Department of Agriculture are providing the loan for the 16,000 square foot building. It will provide dedicated spaces for 3 classrooms, 3 laboratories, 1 each for hydraulics, soil and structure, and environmental engineering, a computer lab, and faculty office space. UOG President Thomas Christ says, quote, "Our students will be enabling the development of an area of 3 million square miles and 500,000 people. We're so pleased with this partnership of multitude entities," end quote.
Well, Chris, this morning on behalf of the Village of Manilao, Mayor Alan Ngata, along with members of the Manilao Planning Council, presented a check to Tinian Mayor Joey Patrick Nicholas, who is briefly visiting the island.
We wanted to extend any efforts and the relief that we can extend to you guys on behalf of presenting you this check and the community of Tinian on your relief efforts in the island. Now you guys can. Thank you, okay? Thank you so much, Mayor.
The monies raised by the Central Village will go toward Typhoon U2 relief efforts.
Saying one of his final farewells, Governor Eddie Calvo attended the Guam National Guard prayer breakfast. He sat with Archbishop Burns, chaplains, and Major General Leon Guerrero at the Guards Readiness Center in Barragata, sharing in a morning of fellowship and faith, praying for military service members and their families.
A special Christmas visitor came to Juanem Guerrero Elementary School. Students met Santa and Mrs. Claus, handing out candy and Christmas cheer. The duo also came bearing gifts of school supplies. Santa says it wouldn't be possible without the help and generosity of Isla's nonprofit and Tokoma Pacific.
Andy is coming up next with another special edition of KUAM Sports. But first, here's a look at your island weather.
to earn reward points using the Alpha Plus app. Here, let me show you. Simply register with the all-new Alpha Plus app and earn reward points while making purchases at your favorite stores you already shop at. Just present the app to any authorized representative to earn your points. Now that was easy. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. So how do you make your getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
All right, time for sports. Again, Andy Wheeler here filling in for Double D, switching things up a little bit. Got some guests in studio. We're going to be talking rugby today, and it was Jeremy Clarkson that famously said, rugby is a lot like American football, except that it's played by men. It's a tough sport, and we got some tough guys here in studio with us. We got TJ Atta and Paul Claris. Guys, no stranger to rugby. Tell us a little bit about your affiliation with rugby and how you got into the sport.
Well, I got into the sport in 1999, to be honest, for the Pacific Games here on Guam. And since then, I've coached, played, refed for high school, middle school, and all that good stuff.
So you've worked your way up. You've been around the sport for a while. You've seen some of the growth that the sport has had here on island. Not just, hey, there's leagues, we've got a new one coming up we'll talk about, but the success that the Guam teams have had going off island. What has that been like for you to watch that?
Because of the growth of our IIAG high school program, you see the new influx of new kind of blood. So this year we won Division 3, so now we're going to move for Division 2 for the Asia region. And then the women just came back from Brunei, finished third, barely finished third. I mean, they could have finished first, but just a bad game.
It happens, teams have them.
So we've been growing tremendously, and also if you notice, there's tons of girls moving off to college, guys as well. So this year we had a couple of Division 1 players, so very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, real interesting. TJ, let's talk about your involvement in the sport here on Guam and how you got into it.
Well, I'm been coaching for a long time. Picked up reffing a few years back,
So you went from yelling at refs to being yelled at by coaches.
I was a really good coach.
Oh,
we don't yell at the refs in rugby.
We're gonna have to interview other refs about that. So what is it about the sport? Because I didn't grow up watching it or playing it. So sometimes watching it, I'm not sure the rules. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I want to yell at the ref. I'm just used to, but I don't. So what is it about that sport that drew you to it?
So I came from a football background, right? And football typically, unless you're like the top tier players, you're only going to play offense or defense.
Right.
So I think that's one of the biggest draws from rugby, coming from a football background, is you have to play all aspects of the game.
It's just nonstop. It seems like watching it. I'm like, I call a timeout, something. What's going on? And so it is nonstop, fast paced. I mean, you really got to be in shape. And if it's the off season for football or something, you want to stay in shape. Hey, let's get a little rugby team together. And you've been doing that. What got you into the sport?
I was
aside from just SPG.
In terms of loving the sport, of course, it's just one of those things. It's such a total team game. You know, with every other sport, it's an individual, and I like the passion and commitment that you have to kind of take to achieve at this level. Especially since we were, when I started, it was basically the growth of rugby on Guam. We were kind of like the face of becoming the new generation of rugby. So it felt pretty good to kind of just grow with the team and grow with the sport on Guam.
Yeah. Speaking of the new generation, we got a middle school league starting up.
Actually,
championship.
Yeah. So we this weekend at Weddingale, it's going to be action-packed. I think IIAG Middle School will be finishing off. I think their finals should be around 10:40, and then 11 o'clock kickoff for the GDOE side, and then our finals for that was going to be around 2:45.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another big thing you have coming up is you're teaching up match officials. You're getting them fully certified so they can get yelled at by other coaches around the world.
Yeah, so we have a ref coming in from Singapore. He'll be in tomorrow night, and then we have a level 1. So level 1 is going to be Thursday at Custom Fitness at 5:30 to 8:30.
Shout out there,
yeah,
not so subtle, but all
little
right.
shout out to Custom Fitness. So 5:30 to 8:30, and that's for level 1. And then level 2, it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's pretty comprehensive. And for us, it's a good opportunity to see how far we've come along. So the guy that's coming in actually came here 2 years ago.
Oh, cool.
So he's going to kind of this time it's more of a practical for us to kind of give us better game situation, things like that.
Yeah, and it's good for coaches to know that the refs that are out there, they are certified. It's not like, oh, I used to play. Yeah, give me a whistle and a shirt. Okay, I can ref the game. You kind of want them to be certified.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good training for coaches to do too, even if you're not going to be an active official.
Right.
Coaches, even players,
just to know the rules.
Yes, your awareness.
I need to learn the rules too. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Looking forward to big things for rugby in the future.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it. Right now, we are going to take a look at the NFL schedule.